the top courts have to say. Quickly moving on as I thank our guests. The recent Indigo chaos, not just an operational failure, it was failure of planning, frontline protection, and the staff did not design rosters, they did not freeze hiring, they did not delay preparedness, yet they carried the entire public cost. Now, there has been a growing demand for public admission of responsibility, exoneration of frontline employees, transparency on whether regulatory pressure was part of the strategy. And there are many whistleblowers who are saying they knew this was coming and they did nothing about it. Mohandas Pai joins us now, Chairman RN Capital. Mohandas Pai ji, namaste. You've been very vocal about this entire Indigo fiasco. You've put out letters and complaints that have come on. What is your assessment? Should it stop only with the CEO? Or are there others also who should be pulled up? Because all other airlines complied, except for Indigo.
Anand, there are two things that we have to be careful about. One is the DGCA and other is Indigo. Obviously, there's a management failure of Indigo. I remember going to Goa from Bangalore on the 27th of November, and my flight was delayed by 1.5 hours because the pilot was not there. He had to come from some other flight. It never happened to me before, flying in Indigo for 18-20 years. It's the first time such things happen, and I think that is something that is serious. I didn't know all this was going on. Now, obviously, Indigo management has failed, and that is something that has to be discovered and thought out in the investigation. Now, the bigger question is, what are DGCA doing? Now, this is a very big change and very big transformation of the way people work and run the airline. So when you have a big transformation move, what do you do as a regulator? You issue a policy, you give them time, and then you say, give me your plan, how you are going to meet it, what are the milestones you're going to have from time to time, and review it every time to make sure on the due date they're all prepared and get the rosters in advance about all the flights. Remember, DGCA gave them the winter schedule maybe 1.5 months ago.
Yeah.
When the winter schedule was there, did they have a review? Did Indigo tell them that we're all prepared? The rosters have been done. We can comply with that. What happened? Because this is supposed to be done from 1st November. Am I right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be 1st November and it blew up in the first week. So there's a failure of the regulators. And this raises an interesting question. Is there regulatory capture? Obviously, the minister feels that he has not been kept in the loop. Has these airlines captured the regulator, DGCA? Do they run the DGCA? Is there something behind the scene that the DGCA themselves were surprised? They did not know. In the first 2-3 days, you saw the response from DGCA. You saw the response from the department. The response was totally inadequate. Only later, when the public pressure happened, you saw all these thousands of people shouting. And
the
that's when
government and the ministry got involved. Yeah.
Yes, I think there are two things. And the Prime Minister said very clearly that people suffering like this because the failure of somebody is not acceptable. Now that is very clear. The Prime Minister is very upset and angry seeing the suffering of people. It should have happened. Did the DGCA review? Did they have a plan of action? Did they check up whether milestones are going to be done? Did they check up whether they have adequate pilots? Did they warn them they don't have adequate pilots? Was there a plan in place? Obviously, for Air India and others, there was a plan in place. Maybe Air India is fortunate because they got surplus staff there because the planes have not come or the planes are coming, they hide in advance. Indigo is wearing a tightrope. But the most curious thing, Anand, is they just increased flights by 10%, 200 more flights in the winter schedule a month and a half ago. Didn't they know that they have to comply with this? Actually, they're already told the DGCA that got a promise they'll get us more time or something like that. Was some kind of a deal made. So there are too many murky things. I think we need to know the truth because we can't have a regulator and the airline playing with the safety of passengers and doing this to citizens. It's unacceptable. It's a management failure.
No, and it's also flyer safety because if you're trying to overwork the crew, and these are FDTL guidelines that came into place because of the court's orders in January 2024. So you had 2 years to try and tailor this and to try and streamline this.
Anand, they have been overworking the crew for a long time. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
They've been overworking the crew for a long time, right? That's been going on. Now, the key thing is they were forced to adapt to the new norms, but they took it easy.
Right.
And so we got to find out, did they have a plan? Did they actually work on it? Did they go easy? Did DGCA tell them they're going to give them more time, so they took it very easy and thought they already won the day? What exactly happened for it to blow up suddenly in a matter of 1 week? Because remember, it's supposed to happen from November. In the month of November, did they go with the new plan? Did they comply with the new plan in November? And why did it blow up in the first week of December? Then why did it blow up when President Putin was in town?
Yeah,
Now,
there are,
that's so very
there are,
strange. Why didn't it blow up in the second week of November, third week of November? Why blow up when President Putin was in town? Is there something dark then happening? I don't know. I mean, these are all maybe conspiracy theories. I don't know. But I think it merits and full investigation, and somebody must pay. It's a management failure. And I
right,
think the board has not possibly
right.
adhered to responsibility. We also need to know whether the board was following
What's
the
going on? Yeah.
company's
There
preparedness
are some
for compliance.
very senior members and very
Yes.
capable members in the board.
Did they have
Were
a look at the plan?
yeah.
Did they have a look at
Were
the
they
plan?
aware or not? That's the
Were
big
they
question.
aware? Did they
Along
look at
with
the plan? Is
DGCA.
management present?
Right.
And these are all questions that have to be answered in investigation.
Right.
It must not go away because we must do it. Another thing, Anand,
Right.
the DGCA is supposed to have a vacancy of 500 people.
Right.
But can they really deal with another 50-60% increase in air travel in the next 2 or 3 years when all those new planes come?
Well,
I mean, it's very worrisome.
So there is a lot that needs to be fixed. True.
Yes.
Mohandas Paiji, you've hit the nail on the head as always. Thank you very much for your time. I've got to wind up. Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Thank you. Bye-bye.